Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something.
I wasn't expecting that
either. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny, I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things. Of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
What do we do?
What do we do? I'm open to anything. I'm open to discussing anything.
I haven't got a lot of clarity of articulation at the moment. So I just will do the best I can.
Do you want to take a moment?
Well, no, I don't think that will necessarily help.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't really know what's going on, so I don't. It's hard to say. I've got lots of things I could say to sort of throw things in, and I was listening to Joanne Twombly interview, and she was talking about I don't know nothing. I feel like I've got no ground. I feel like I've got no. I don't know what to say, actually. I don't know how to say anything. Nothing's really I just know I'm in a very tender emotional state. And I feel, like I said, I kind of feel like I'm reliving that time of being 14 again. That's the best way I could describe it. And it's hard because, and I sort of feel like, I know that we all have protectors that came in to do the jobs that they do to help us to function in the world. I don't know that I necessarily got full functioning anyway. But certainly I don't have it at the moment, which is hard with,
Sounds really
everything.
hard.
Yeah, there's a lot. I have a lot more responsibilities now than I did when I was 14, that's for sure.
Yeah, and to feel groundless is not, that sounds hard.
So, I just feel like I suppose it's part of that sense of groundlessness is because I thought I'd found I'd found the route
in IFS.
With IFS towards healing, and it doesn't feel like that right now, and I recognize that's because I'm in the state that I'm in, but I just I know this isn't, you're not advertising this as therapy, but it is. That's the truth of it. It is.
I know what you mean. It's a therapeutic.
Yeah.
It's a therapeutic relationship or model, and
I came to it with that intention, or wish, I suppose. I mean, how else? We're not just playing around here with the model.
We're not.
We're doing the model.
Well, we are also playing with it, but yes, this is your parts and your system are real and serious, and we want to.
I suppose what I'm saying then is I'm not playing. I mean, this isn't like I said, entertainment or even education. This is and I don't know where to go from here, because I don't have a lot of, I don't know.
Okay.
She was talking about dissociate DID, and I recognize, I'm not saying that's something that I have, and I didn't have the kind of horrific traumatic experiences that people have. On the ACEs score, I'm not very high at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there's another level of being isn't counted in on an ACEs score, and that the core of that, the source of that for me has to do with sensitivity. And because I am highly sensitive, I'm highly sensitive, even though, yes, I wasn't beaten and I wasn't raped and those, horrendous things that can have a hugely traumatic effect and impact on a body and on a person.
Yeah.
The kind of disregard or neglect or emotional, whatever it is, was so severe. It wasn't severe in the offering, but to my system it was.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And so the trauma feels very big, and and just I guess you haven't pushed in any way. We've gone slowly and respectfully to the protectors and all of those things, and all I know is that I've just been in a bad state this week, and
sorry to hear that.
I just
thank you for all of that, sharing all of that.
All of the what did you say?
Just thank you for sharing all of that.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like it's the thinking part that is the one that's most up.
Yeah. It's saying that we don't have the answers. We don't have a ground. This is, we're fucked.
Generally, it's the one that's up. But, it's like, I'm just not sleeping, and the thinking is relentless, and,
Yeah.
I just don't know. There's a kind of panic as well, because what now, how to move forward. And
I can list some suggestions if you're interested. Different ways that you could possibly move forward.
I think, it's this thing again of always outsourcing, of always looking beyond for the help, for the healing, for the knowledge, for the information, just not having
always.
any.
I've seen
there's a part that does. I guess there's the kind of, okay, I mean, always is a.
That's what it feels like. I can understand. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. It's that habitual pattern of I don't know. I don't have the truth. I don't have the answers. I don't have the capability or the capacity, and it stems from I'm not worthy. Of course, that's the kind of base of it. I'm not good enough. I can't do this. And I don't want to do it alone. But I just wonder if I just don't know.
It's possible, yeah.
Just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I've got kids, I have to be. Mm-hmm. And of course, I'm not like this around them, but, it's just hard.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, I don't know. I mean, I don't know anything, but I'm just wondering about access to self and how, if that's ever really happened, or has that just been a very, clever self-like part? I don't know the answer to that.
That's a great question.
What I'm referring to is the physical experience that I have, that I had in the last call, because there was a kind of very subtle tension around my eyes. And it felt like a kind of striving. It felt like a trying. It felt like, there wasn't that.
Yeah.
I keep going back to this concept of subtraction that you mentioned a long time ago. And it's just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I was sensing that
questions around that.
In the last call, there was a frustration kind of coming from 14-year-old part. And, I could hear that it kept coming up of, well, what are the steps? What do we do? And, it sounded like, and I don't know that I addressed it very well, what you were saying, but there was a point in which you said, oh, she needs a loving mother. And she accepted that, and you said, oh, this is just the same that my kids need. And I was celebrating, saying yes, and you discovered that wasn't me giving you the answer.
Yeah.
Of here's how you should be. And I don't know if that was a clever self-like part.
I don't know either. There's another piece which is around being hypervigilant, because, like, I feel, or a part feels like they know when by your little response tones, whether it's like feels juicy, or whether you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure. And I feel because I have this like super attuned hypervigilant part, which I had to acquire. I'm and is desperate for the parts for the responses which are, I'm interested in that, or that feels like we're getting somewhere, or and I feel like I can, and if I'm listening to other calls, other podcast episodes, it's the same. I can tell, or this part believes that it can tell when you are really engaged and really kind of, and other times when it's like, I'm not so sure. And
sure,
those those responses are no doubt there, but it's that part is desperate to get the yeses, to get the real interest, to get to be the one, to be the kind of, what generally I want to be the favorite. I want to be it's like I want to be the chosen one. It's just coming from that same sort of, please see me, please get me, please like me, please,
Yes.
You get it? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's really vulnerable.
I'm hearing,
feels very vulnerable sharing that part, that piece.
Thank you.
It's in there, and it's going to impact how I.
It wants to be seen. It wants to be chosen. It wants to hear responses that are engaged and caring and present.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's seen me do that sometimes and not other times.
Yeah.
That's really important to it.
It's like, it feels like life or death important, it feels critical. It's not just, it would be nice,
Yeah.
And to that part, it probably is, because it's like.
Because it is.
Yeah.
Because it is. It's critical. It's critical for children. It's critical for people, but especially, let's just say, children, to be seen.
Yeah.
Or else it is life or death for them.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. And they get that from parents, loving mothers and fathers, other caretakers.
Yeah.
And this whole process is about you becoming the primary caretaker to give them what they need.
Yeah, and I can't access that. I don't have access to that.
Okay.
I think maybe I've sometimes found it during a call, but that's it. Outside of that, I don't have access to that. Certainly not at the moment.
Yeah.
But you were going to say something else, I don't know.
Oh, just that what you're saying is normal. And sorry for the chosen one part, but we're all like that. We're all like that in that we all have parts, and all the parts basically need the same thing, which is to be seen. And I mean, I believe I've heard other of your parts saying when you ask them what they want to be seen.
Yeah.
And when we do that with them and we just take the time in whatever way, but you know it when you see it, they know it when they see it, when they feel it.
Feel it, yeah.
Yeah. Then that, to me, that is healing. And yeah, well, how long it takes, I don't know.
No.
Is it the right process for you versus some other process? I don't know. Is there something else going on that me and the model don't have access to? I don't know. But I do know
in my life, you mean?
I mean, in anything. Well, you mentioned DID, and there's 1,000 ways to heal, and I'm not going to pretend that IFS can answer to all of them and answer every problem. I don't know that.
I have parts that are just longing for healing, longing for peace, longing for it to be over. And that, I don't mean in any way in terms of suicide, because it's not nowhere near that, but it's just this, I'm 51 and so much of my life has been dominated by the discomfort, the pain of this.
Yeah. Yeah, and now, and in the past week, you've been in the thick of it because you feel like you're reliving how it was to be that 14-year-old.
Yeah.
Which is also very normal. The backlash of protectors saying, abort, fuck this is crazy, is normal.
Yeah.
You made contact with the 14-year-old, and there were we opened a lot more doors than we were able to close. There were a lot of questions. There were a lot of what's next. And that's kind of where we left it. So it would make sense to me that it doesn't feel like, oh, hold on. all healed. I don't know if any of that's comforting or helpful to hear, but
well, it's just the truth.
Yeah.
You know, you refer to this as your passion project, I think, and I don't know. It's too important. It's too serious. Like it's too.
Yeah. And I've only been doing it 2 years.
Yeah.
So that was going to be one of my suggestions is try another professional. I got a nice list of them if you'd like some names.
I don't have the finances to do that in the way that I think I would in terms of regularity. So that's, you know, that's a reality which it is uncomfortable but true. Yeah, I have to. What I need to do is work out what I want to do, and I can't. I don't know what that is right now. I don't know.
Yeah.
The right thing.
Yeah.
You know, it fits to do this because I enjoy working with you, and it's.
Yeah.
Maybe it works. I don't know. Whatever works means.
And I'm really inspired. I mean, you're doing that right now. You're being honest. You're caring for yourself. You're caring about the process. And, you know, even though it's uncomfortable, you're facing all of those questions and difficulties and being upfront about them. So I don't know. I'm just celebrating and thanking you for that.
I suppose you know, what do you want, not with working with me, but just generally, like what is it just a kind of get a taster, you know, come and try this out, get a taster, and that's a way of demonstrating to the public through the podcast what the model is. You know, I haven't listened to all of your calls with everybody, so I don't know.
Yeah, why am I doing this?
Well, yeah, I mean, yes, I suppose that's a first question.
I think it's the greatest thing ever. So I'll start with that. It feels to me like the most innovative and powerful paradigm, the most capacity for healing and helping. And it worked for me. And then I started doing it, and I liked, I mean, I feel this way about everything that I get into, where it's like, well, I want to play both sides. You know, I don't want to just be client of anything. It's like I want to go all in and figure this out. And one reason I started the podcast was because I knew that would be accountability for me to like really actually try to improve, to, if by doing it publicly, to get all that feedback and to, you know, not just make it a hobby, but make it more of just something real that I could share. And even if I do it poorly, that I can share that. And, you know, that was the start of the decision. And I've just kind of responded to people's demand for it. And I enjoy it so much. I mean, I wake up and I think about IFS and I work on IFS and I do my parts work. Almost every morning I'm thinking, planning, what's next? How can I learn? What am I studying? Then the calls are just so rewarding, and the way that people come back and the feedback I get. So yeah, I see it as just kind of this incredible tool, and I have this opportunity to be a part of it, to help share it, and by publishing as much as I do, I think the goal is to show people the thing that I needed, that I wished I had when I started, which is, okay, sure, here's a book about it, and here's a 20-minute demo from Dick Schwartz, but I want to know really what this looks like. And I want to know how much just an everyday person, a person like me who doesn't have the training, can heal themselves and can help others just by having a passion or an interest in this. Because if it's so great, then can we all do it? Is kind of been a question that I'm trying to answer, and I hope that I'm demonstrating. We're all demonstrating. Yeah, I think it's just the best thing, and I want to see more of it out there in the world.
Well, it's certainly gaining traction, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had a situation like this where this has happened, something like this has happened and it hasn't? Yeah.
Well, I believe my perspective of what's happening is different from yours.
Go on.
And so, yes.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, you're struggling and you're having difficulty and doubt, and it's not all roses, and you're not sure if you should continue. Have I seen that? Probably from everyone I've talked to, and myself too, right? So, yes. Whereas it sounds to me like your parts are saying, no, I'm failing and I'm incapable of doing this. And
well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it like, no, I'm bailing. I would put it more like I'm terrified and I'm overwhelmed and I'm lost, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, all right, I'm going to just bail, you know.
Right. Terrified and lost. Yeah. Well, that I've also seen a lot of. And I shouldn't compare, but like, I'm regularly terrified and lost to some degree in this also. Like, again, I don't have a master plan, nor do I think that that's what the aim is with self-leadership. So it's scary for me, and there's no clear direction other than the relationships that I'm forming and the feedback I'm getting, people saying, and what I'm seeing of people, yes, being able to use this and improve, heal, get to a better place, which has been pretty much universal. I mean, some people call once and never call again, but
universal.
I mean, in that they're saying they're reporting the things that are going better for them, and I would include you as one of those people who has consistently reported the things that have improved the whether it's in the moment or over time, whether it's curing a headache or building a muscle, as you've put it, and being able to get to parts quicker, being able to address familiar protectors quicker, and develop more trust with them. You're more familiar, and you have been more present for parts today than you were 6 months ago. So to me, that's a overall growth, healing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah. It's just where to go from here.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know.
Okay.
Or the part that I'm in right now doesn't know. I want to ask not what you think we should do, but what you're comfortable in this scenario. Where is your comfort? Where is your discomfort? Where is your sense of being able to carry on or not?
Oh, 100% comfortable carrying on. I mean,
I don't want you to just say that because.
Okay. No, I mean, I'm trying not to make that suggestion because I'm wanting to be open to all the other things that we could do or could stop doing. But this whole conversation, me with my IFS hat on, is like, which is becoming more of a suit and more of just who I am, is just saying, okay, well, let's just go to those parts. But I don't want that to be. Yeah, I don't want that to. I just want to be open to anything else. So
I'm just really scared because the last time we did that has led to this.
Yeah. So what we did was we went to Exiles, right? And I'll only kind of I'll just say what I would do next if we were to continue, as I would step back and look at these thinking parts that are keeping you up, these parts that are scared that you won't be able to help the exiles. I would take more time to get to know them and to help find out how to help them relax. They're welcome. They're there for a good reason. They're not a sign of a defect.
And if I said I didn't want to record anything ever again,
Mm. Yeah.
in this moment, what would you say?
Yeah. I want to say yes. There's one thing about recording that I don't talk about often, which is how much it's for me. And it's two things for me. It's one, for my learning. It's also for my protection. So
let me say it a different way, publishing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That I'm much happier to give up. Yeah. Because then I still get to learn. You still get to do IFS. Whoever's listening has plenty to listen to. And doesn't seem to be slowing down. It would in no way affect how I feel about you or this work if we were to delete all of them right now and to not continue publishing.
Okay, that's a bit soothing to a part
Yeah.
to hear that.
Yeah. I really like working with you. I mean, I'm learning so much. And I think we're doing a lot of great work. And I know that that's not clear and present for you right now.
No, I do know that. I'm aware that we've talked for nearly an hour now.
Mm-hmm.
Just in terms of your time.
No time limit for me.
Because I mean, I enjoy working with you. I've had a lot of different therapists over many years and several shit ones.
Yeah.
Or at least ones that didn't work for me and my system.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you're not calling yourself a therapist, but I'm just going to put it in that context because that's what it is for me. It is. This is what that is.
Yeah. It's a protected word, I think. That's why I say that explicitly.
I understand.
Yeah. But we can have a therapeutic relationship.
Yeah. Well, we do.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
There feels like there's been a lot of releasing, or not a lot, a bit of releasing in my system after talking about the publishing. That feels really like that was a significant piece.
Yeah.
Because there's also this sort of performative aspect of it, which is super subtle and under the layers, but still is there. you know,
Sure.
how to just this, like, it's the hypervigilant part, I guess, as well, just aware that this is going to be a public thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And not wanting it to be, you know, boring or repetitive or, you know?
Yeah. And I haven't done that. I mean, I haven't been a client 10 times with someone and gone and been as vulnerable as most of my callers have. So I can't imagine, you know?
Yeah.
I get that that's very, it's a lot. It's a lot of exposure, vulnerability.
Yeah.
And even if it's merely one more thing to think about, well, that's not, yeah, like you said, this matters. And why would you want to?
Yeah, it's layered because, of course, if a dominant feature is wanting to be seen, well, there we go. But at the same time, the vulnerability of being seen in the context which is, you know, not right, doesn't feel appropriate.
Yeah,
is real.
Yeah, it could definitely complicate things. And I also have no judgment, negative judgment about that. Some people, it's like they don't care at all, and some people care a lot. And if I was client, I would probably be more like you.
It's not people for me, it's parts. Some of my parts don't care and are happy to do it, and some other parts are, you know, feeling deeply private and vulnerable.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'd be happy to not publish, and not just like, even that is a useful, all of this is such a useful learning experience for me. Like, I'm looking forward to that. If you say, okay, no more publishing, then that's another thing that I get the opportunity to navigate and to learn about working with people. Of like, okay, how will that look?
Yeah, and again, different parts wanting different things. So, you know, the good girl, I suppose you could say, is wants to be, you know, wants to please.
Yeah. Right. So you can thank that part. Let it know I'm pleased. I mean, I'm delighted. I'm delighted that we're having this conversation. I'd be delighted to continue working with you, whether we publish or not. And if we don't keep working together, I'm super pleased that I had the opportunity.
Yeah, that's soothing to hear all of that. So I've got a bit of curiosity, I suppose, coming in a little bit. I don't feel so like emergency status, which is nice. I think whatever happens next, the important thing for me is to start to integrate the work into my everyday life in a way that I haven't been. Because however useful the calls are, it's facilitated and actually by someone else. And although you're facilitating towards my own self-facilitation with coming into self, it's still, there's a piece of just support for me about stepping in, stepping up, showing up for my own system.
Yeah. Don't push past those protectors.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
I don't mean that. I don't mean like, right, let's do, it doesn't feel aggressive. It feels.
No, and I was saying in your doing it yourself, you've contacted these exiles. You're in that place where you've seen the power, you've seen the ability, you've tasted the ability to go there and work with them to some degree. And that can be it's like, I'm thinking when someone first learns to ride a motorcycle, at first they're really, really careful. And then after about a year, then they're insane. And then after 5, and that's when they get hurt. And then after 5 years, they're safe again. So it's like, it's that middle phase of like, I'm good at this now. That's when you wreck into the tree.
That's not.
That's what I was saying about don't push past the protectors. If they're afraid of this, if they're keeping you up at night, they're the ones to go to.
No, I know that. I really, really know that from this experience.
Okay.
And I really hear your concern and I share it. And I have it's really about that more than anything, is when I talk about doing the work on my own, is to just really build a relationship. So that I don't find myself in quite such a vulnerable place again. What's your hesitation?
None.
Or what I'm wanting to say is, what shall we do next? But actually, I need to ask myself that question, not you.
Me too.
Because I feel what I mean by doing the work with myself as well is that I feel like I have to show, I don't know, that there is agency and authority within my system, but it isn't. There really is still a part that's just like handing over to another person. I know that it's not been the only part in our work at all, but it is there a lot. Like defaulting to someone else's authority, defaulting to someone else's wisdom, and it's essentially saying, you don't know, you don't have the wisdom, you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the authority, you can't do this without help. And so I see that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yep. It's a lot to negotiate. Because the answer isn't, yes, I do, so get out of my way. It's like, okay. It's again, it's being that loving mother to that part too. And like a loving mother, the cliche of there's no manual. It's like, right.
Yeah.
It's taking each part as it is and
responding,
giving it that same attention.
Yeah. It's always responding. That's the key part of parenting in my experience, having learned the hard way.
Right.
What I mean, I don't mean always responding. I mean how do we responding in any moment to any experience, to any interaction, to any part of a child, whatever it is. It's
being available.
How can I respond?
Emotionally available. asking how I can respond, which means curiosity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it feels like I don't know how to tell what I want to do now, actually. I don't have a heap of time. Doesn't feel right to stop now, so I just don't know how to find the answer. Do I not know? Is that true? There are so many parts all the time, It's the one that wants to kind of dig in and get in and jump in and get to the juice.
Think that part.
And
let it know you see it.
Yeah.
Thank it. It's valuable. Welcome it. Get in touch with that feeling in your body that it produces.
It's coming from something that's saying, I want to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I want this to stop. I want this feeling to stop. Just discomfort to go away. I'll do anything. I'll do anything to make it stop.
Right. Right. And it has. That's what these parts have done. And they'll continue unless there's some other solution. So it cares about you. It works very hard.
It works really hard, actually. I think feels like there's a connection to this potential self-like part that's okay. I know how to do the work. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
But everything feels very tenuous right now. So,
Mm-hmm. Yep. So the protectors, you're noticing, you're finding some appreciation, seeing the hard work, not fighting them.
Yeah.
And if that's all you did, if that's all you did was just notice the protectors and appreciate them, even that they would be more open to you. They would be more comfortable with you. They would see, oh wait, there's that responding that keeps happening.
Yeah.
There's that responding that all the parts are asking for.
Yeah. Feels so complex, I feel like they've got this image of wires everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Or not so much wires, more like a net, like a network of neurons, that kind of imagery of like just multiple things everywhere with different centers, different.
Yeah.
And really the key is in being able to access self.
curiosity, and compassion.
I know, and I can find those things, and I often do. It's just that same thing of building the muscle in my day-to-day. Of really, it just feels super important to do that. Yeah, and there's definitely that striving response. Maybe it's a part coming in. I can feel it. It's this real tension around the eyes and the temples. And it's like, okay, we're going to go and find self now.
Right.
Let's look for that feeling.
Okay. Notice it. You can show it that feeling.
I don't know that I can.
Yeah. Well, it wants to go look somewhere else. It's going to go find self around the corner.
Yeah.
And you're going to be curious about it. Ask why it's working so hard. And ask it to notice you.
Did you say ask why it's working so hard?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I can. I don't know that I can get there today.
It's okay. That's the curiosity that I'd recommend starting with. When that part says, let's go do something, when any protector is activated, just start with curiosity. Who are you?
Know.
Where are you? Where are you going? Why are you going?
But when I start to do that, everything just all disappears. No, I sort of get the process, but it's not. It sort of just dissolves in a not in a sort of nice union with the
not in a step back and give me space kind of way.
Yeah, no, not like that.
And it can get kind of meta. And
yeah,
when it's okay, is there a dissolving part? Is there a blocking part? Is there...
Yeah.
Why did it disappear?
I think it's the thinking. I think it's the thinking part.
Mm-hmm.
Like keep busy, keep occupied, don't go anywhere. Don't touch anything.
Don't touch anything because it's the keeper of the keys.
I don't know if it's the same part, James. I think they're two different parts.
Okay.
Keeper of the keys is more the kind of cynic, this is bullshit, none of this is real.
Yes.
The thinking part is more just relentless thinking.
Don't touch anything because you don't have the authority.
You don't know what you're doing.
Right. The thinking is,
We just have to keep thinking. We just have to keep busy, 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 mind occupied all the time, no diving in, no touching.
Yeah.
Don't go there, don't go there, don't go there, don't go there.
It's interesting.
Why?
Oh, it's a thinking part, and yet it doesn't want to explore. It's thinking in order to prevent accessing.
100%. No, it's
Yeah.
thinking as the process of thinking, just to have
Yeah.
thoughts always in the mind.
Right.
It's not thinking as in, curious exploration.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel towards it?
A bit battered,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
A bit sort of shrunken.
Yeah. It's had the upper hand. It's been in control.
Very effective.
Very effective.
Yeah, so I've got a kind of cowering part, cowering at its feet.
Glad you see that.
I'm not suggesting we go there. I'm just letting you know.
No, but you just unblended from the part that is battered by it.
Maybe. I don't know if that's true. I think I'm just there at its feet.
Uh-huh. Right.
Hunched over and head down.
Right. Right. So that's the battered part.
Yeah, it feels kind of like that's where I've been living this week.
Right. Right. So we see how powerful that protector is, the thinking protector. We see how powerful the battered part is in blending, in telling you what it's feeling, which is that it can't do anything. It's stuck cowering. It's under the power of this protector, which is its experience.
Mm-hmm. I feel like the dynamic of these two is where I've spent most of my years.
Feeling curious about the cowering part?
And there's so much fear coming up.
Yeah. Okay. It's okay. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay for that part to be cowering. It's okay for that protector to be doing what it does.
Yeah.
We could thank them for showing us, you and I both, the dynamic that you felt stuck in for so long. Maybe just let them know that they're not alone.
I just feel like I'm in the present moment for the first time in a long time.
I'd ask the cowering part to give you space so that you can help get to know the thinking part, what drives it, and to, help it relax. And let the cowering part know that you'll come back for it, but that it's not alone because you see it.
I don't know. I think I'm too close to it still.
Okay.
No, I don't. Sometimes I see the image from a distance, and other times I'm at the feet. This very, very powerful, forceful, dominant king part. And it feels sort of terrifying.
Will you tell me about what that feels like?
Well, there's a lot of physical sensation in my body, my throat and chest and solar plexus. I'm hunched over. I keep straightening up, and then I find myself sort of going back there automatically. And it just feels like this giant force. And it feels frightening and powerless to that power.
And about how long does it feel like that's been a dynamic?
The part that wants to get the answers right finds those questions very difficult, James.
That's fine. It's a difficult question.
Yeah. Well, it feels like a long time, that's for sure.
Fair enough. Okay.
But I don't have a number.
How does it feel to tell me about that terror?
It feels okay.
I know you haven't said much, but
I've got a lot of parts that I want to pull out from this, what's happening right now. It feels really like it's too vulnerable, too dangerous.
Okay. I'll step back.
Thank you.
I appreciate what you shared. Again, my curiosity, if I were to think about an order of operations here, it would be to try to get to know this thinking part. I only went to the cowering because it was so blended.
Yeah.
If anyone's up for it, I'm happy to continue in my inquisition and my inquiry of the thinking part.
Feels like it, it just feels like some kind of mighty, all-powerful, terrifying part.
Sounds like it.
And I don't know that I have enough distance to be able to do that safely.
Mm-hmm. Could we?
I mean,
I'm just gonna throw out ideas. Would there be a way to take perhaps that cowering part, go into a nice soundproof room, and maybe let me talk to the thinking part?
yeah, Joanne Twombly talked about that soundproofing and stuff like that. Sounds like a good strategy. I guess I'm just worried because I don't know how much I have access to self really, or will be able to. So I just,
Right. Yeah.
I
that's
can
why I'm
ask
offering
it.
to do
I can
it.
ask that part. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So I can ask the part, the cowering part. But I don't know if it's who's answering. If I ask it that question, I don't know who's answering the question.
Yeah. Well, it's been feeling like you are that part.
Yeah.
So that's
So I
tricky.
could answer.
Right. Yeah. Will you let me talk to would it feel safe for you to let me talk to the thinking part that's so towering?
Honestly, I don't know.
Okay. I respect that. Should we get the towering part's opinion?
I've got a lot of I just feel sort of tired and defeated and like this is all too much.
Okay.
To keep doing this work right now in this moment.
I respect that. Thank you for considering it. And
yeah,
I get it. It's been a long conversation. It's been a very emotional one.
Yeah. And I don't want to override that actually, because that feels like it's important to listen to it.
Great.
As much as that, there's another part that wants to delve and wants to get I've mentioned it already and wants to get to the juicy bits, but actually it doesn't feel respectful to do that.
Great. Thank you. We have more dates planned.
Yeah.
I won't forget about these parts. I get the feeling you won't forget about them.
Yeah. Thanks, James.
Thank you.
Thank you
I really
the
admire
time.
the way you're doing this. I really appreciate it and admire everything that you've done. This conversation and all the ones before it. It takes a lot.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Speak to you next time.
Okay.
Thanks, James. Bye.
Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows? That might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube. And they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.